Alexei Urmanov, the 1994 Olympic victor and instructor of Kazakhstani figure skater Mikhail Shaidorov, remarked on his pupil's triumph at the Milan Olympics. "Alexei Evgeniyevich, have you ever even imagined such a thing, or were you truly going to succeed?" No, it's incorrect to say we were going to succeed. It's accurate that we prepared very earnestly all season for this particular contest. The Olympics were a priority from the very start. This doesn't mean we were careless or dismissive of other contests. No, it wasn't. And the season was very demanding. We returned to our old short program and altered the sequence of elements in the free skate 10 million times. In other words, we were hunting for the keys to, as Mikhail always says, skating both programs cleanly at every contest. And he practically achieved this here. I always motivated him, even at the Olympics, not to think about any particular places. Focus first and foremost on what we must do, and let others think about something else. Are the emotions comparable to what you experienced when you won Olympic gold? Look, it's already late evening. I need to, pardon the expression, forget about this extravaganza and triumph. And tomorrow I'll have a different understanding. But right now, right on the heels of it, it's completely different. When I was skating myself and when I'm instructing now, it's completely different. Now I'm incredibly proud of the boy. Well, not the boy, but this man Mikhail Shaidorov, because he's a wonderful guy. I was just talking with my colleagues backstage, and I can say I'm very proud to have an athlete I can rely on. I can rely on him to take risks. Today's quadruple flip in the free skate was very rough. We didn't practice it enough. I was really worried about it. If it had been another athlete in his place, I would never have sent him to perform it. But I rely on this athlete. Mikhail was rising from that leadership chair. You said something to him right after his triumph, probably important. What were they? I whispered something in his ear. You know, he had such a wonderful practice this winter, it was simply amazing. And I told him, just don't let me become an Olympic victor after skating like that in practice. Shakes his finger. That's what I told him, everything has its time. And now I told him, do you remember what I told you? Urmanov said. Kazakh figure skater Mikhail Shaidorov will receive $250,000 for his triumph at the Milan Olympics. In addition, Kazakhstan's president Kassym-Jomart Tokayev will award the figure skater the Order of Berries, second class. Shaidorov is the first figure skater from Kazakhstan to win an Olympic medal. In 2014, his compatriot Denis Ten won bronze. Alexei Urmanov completed an Olympic double. He won in Lillehammer 1994 for Russia, and now he has led Mikhail Shaidorov to gold at the Games. Clad in a Kazakhstan national team jacket, Urmanov sat modestly in a corner at the press conference. He tapped his phone and occasionally smiled when Misha made a clever joke. Your pupil is sitting in the center of the table like an Olympic victor. If you were shown that picture this morning, what would you think? Misha repeatedly said today that the ice is slippery and anything can happen. I was psyching Misha up for that and myself too. You shouldn't think about the place, you should think about what you have to do. And you know, this guy Mikhail Shaidorov is a very talented guy. We've done a tremendous amount of work together and we're preparing specifically for the Olympic Games this season. Before that, not everything worked out, not everything went smoothly. But that's in the past. Why bother picking apart the details now, making excuses? You certainly don't need to make excuses. I just want to say that Misha is a wonderful guy. He dreamed of performing well here in Milan at the Olympics, and he did everything he could to achieve that. Maybe you know a secret about how to inspire an athlete. Misha went out and did his best and the favorites were left trembling. There's no secret, I'm not lying. Misha is in very good shape, close to perfect. Training in Almaty before leaving here was nerve-wracking. He was somehow too serious, too focused. I even started to get a little nervous. But you know, maybe he left all that nervousness behind at home. We flew to Milan, settled into the village, got our accreditations, and the next day we met and I saw a completely different person. Completely normal, calm as a mammoth. It's amazing. Usually it's the other way around. You know, sometimes you arrive somewhere and immediately feel good. It was the same here. We found ourselves in the Olympic Village, took a deep breath, and I felt the right atmosphere here. It's hard to even describe, I felt it in my bones. But you definitely couldn't have predicted that such a drama would happen to Ilya Malinin. I don't know how to explain it. Only the instructing staff and Ilya himself know. We can all guess. Maybe the nerves were overwhelming, maybe he couldn't handle the pressure that they'd already pinned the gold medal on him and the whole stadium was just waiting for him to go out and succeed. I'm just throwing out some thoughts now, but we might not be aware of all the pitfalls. Did you see Petr Gumenic's performance? Misha and I were warming up on the floor at the time. The monitor was about 20 meters away and I was keeping an eye on it. I saw that Petr skated brilliantly, he was a huge guy. But I can't really make out the details, we were so far away after all. To debut at the Olympics with such a performance is already very impressive. Congratulations to Petya and his instructor Veronika Daynico, I respect both of them very much. Misha said you were preparing for the Olympics in Almaty, but you live in Sochi. Where do you mostly train now? We've been in Kazakhstan lately. We had training camps in Astana and Almaty, and now we're doing most of our training in Almaty because it's Miss Hin's hometown. Incidentally, his entire family has returned there, lots of relatives and friends. He feels comfortable there. Are the training conditions good there? They're fine. You don't seem so enthusiastic. I've lived in Sochi for the last 10 years, so I'm comparing it to Sochi. Everything there feels fresher, I suppose, but in Almaty it's basically okay. There's a choreography room where you can work perfectly with mirrors. They started making really good ice here just before we arrived. There's a warm-up area, it might not be super comfortable, but it's good for training. We can't complain. You still have a school and pupils in Sochi, right? I have a good instructing staff, Yulia Sergeyevna Mashintseva and Ilya Vasilievich Kalashnikov. They are wonderful professionals whom I rely on completely. When I'm away, the group stays with them. We're managing. Misha has talked a lot about the development of figure skating in Kazakhstan. Were you offered other pupils besides him? Of course, even throughout this season I've received offers from various quarters to take on this guy then that one, but I declined. At a time like this I need to be completely focused on Misha so that no one interferes or distracts me, and as time has shown it was the right choice. Mikhail Shaidorov looked very happy, but a little confused after his sensational triumph. He took the longest time to complete the mixed zone, even though there are tens of times more journalists from Japan here than from Kazakhstan. But that evening all the world's media were eager to talk to Shaidorov. Mikhail answered questions in both Russian and English, unfazed even by repeated questions about Ilya Malinin. If Shaidorov was upset by the questions, mostly about the American, he didn't show it. I was genuinely rooting for every athlete who competed after me. I wished them all the best and to be the best version of themselves. I wasn't thinking about any medal, especially a gold one. I figured that if I skated well then given the short program I could be on the podium. But the most important thing was to show beautiful figure skating and how much I'd improved compared to last season. And figure skating in Kazakhstan has improved overall since I trained there mostly. What did you and Malinin say to each other after the skate? I was really rooting for Ilya, and when he started making mistakes I couldn't believe it. He makes mistakes so rarely. Honestly, I still didn't believe I'd be first. I didn't even see the scores because I have poor eyesight and couldn't see anything. When I realized it, I was in shock. How are you feeling now? It's an incredible feeling. I've been working towards this since childhood and dreamed of achieving everything I've accomplished over the years. I don't even know how to describe how I feel right now. Perhaps it helped that I skated early in the warm-up. I'd been waiting all day for the moment to finally get out there and skate. I was really looking forward to it. There was a lot of support for you in the stands. Yes, the support was incredible, thank you all so much. I don't think I've ever seen so many Kazakhstan flags in my life. This is the best day of my life. Has the president of Kazakhstan called you yet? I still can't get over the fact that I've become an Olympic victor, and I don't know where my phone is. Maybe someone stole it, haha. You landed 5 quadruple jumps, only Malinin had more challenging content announced. Was that a risk? I was planning on doing 5 quadruple jumps even before I arrived at the Olympics. I wanted to do everything I could and do everything I could. There was pressure, I saw all those posts on social media, but I think it actually inspired me. The triple axel quadruple flip combination is my trump card and I didn't want to give it up. Even though I hadn't been able to do it for several competitions, I finally did it in Milan. The only skater from Kazakhstan to win an Olympic medal was Denis Ten in 2014. Denis Ten opened this sport to many skaters including me. That's incredibly important. And I hope my medal will also open new doors for Kazakhstani children.